spectacular theater in the pound. Please excuse my thespian vernacular when I say thou is going down. I've had enough of you, so time to be my puppet on a string. I've had enough of you. Oh, dance, my little Muppet plaything.
What is this from?
Billy Bust Up.
Never heard, but it sounds really good.
Now, the audience is thirsty for fun. Time to run. 'Cause now your denouement has already begun. That means you're done. We could both be pirates on the sea. You'll swab the deck and play a part for me. Mops galore, you better keep it clean. Watch out now, my little friend, 'cause Sharkspeare's looking mean. I've had enough of you, so time to be my puppet on a string. I've had enough of you. Oh, dance, my little Muppet plaything. A battle like no other. Better move, 'cause here's another. At least you'll get to see defeat in epic style. The audience is prime, each attack right on time. Seeing you entwined is so worthwhile. But why stop there at a lion, a bear? What's wrong, my penny chair? Why don't you smile? The final act is sure to be a theatrical plot twist worthy of a prize. Want a shot? You better be more tactical. Messing with Fantokio is never wise. I've had enough of you, so won't you be my puppet on a string? I've had enough of you. Oh, dance, my little Muppet plaything. I'm up to here with you, so why don't you finally face it? Your fate is sealed, and everything you do is what I say. Starting now and every day.
There's the boy.
Moriarty.
Start anew, stuck like glue. Bid your former self adieu, 'cause I've had enough of you.
We are number one. Now listen closely. Here's a little lesson in trickery. This is going down in history. If you wanna be a villain number one, you have to chase a superhero on the run. Just follow my moves and sneak around. Be careful not to make a sound. Shh. No, don't touch that. We're number one. We're number one. We're number one. Now look at this bat that I just
Don't forget to update your icons.
Be ready to throw. Go! Throw it on him, not me! Oh, let's try something else.
Oh, is that mine not updated?
Watch and learn.
Mine is updated.
Oh, cool. Haha.
Slide on this banana peel.
I was just updating mine and said it, though it looks like Moriarty's is not. There we go.
Was literally in the process of doing that when you reminded everyone.
It happens.
Alright, hello everybody and welcome to the stream. I am Raw Zim and this is Guild Tales Dungeons and Dragons. I will turn it over now to Graham for the recap.
Well, while the party was having a dinner party, Graham and Element fought a griffin monster thing.
We haven't
Monster
had our dinner.
thing?
We haven't had our dinner party yet.
Well, we're in the preparation of the dinner party. Then.
Yes, and the point being is, death and the destruction and food, and a split party.
Nom nom nom.
And that's about
You
it.
chose to go off on your own. No one forced you.
Nope, no one did, but still a split party. And you all got money for it.
Well, thanks to the donation goal from the previous session, from the session before that one, that we never got to because we found other ways to waste time.
Come on, it's what this party does.
Boy, do they.
At least we have fun while doing so.
Yes, you do. That can never be taken away from you. Not by anything.
Yay.
Alright, so. Nim is preparing his food.
Have we started?
Well, I mean, Graham kind of just stopped the recap, so.
I mean, that. I thought I finished it.
I guess. So?
Gray
Well,
has
then-
returned to his chambers post cleaning up of dog ash.
Element is probably heading back to wherever he lives to rest after that fight. Well, he didn't fight himself, but it was still a blood pumping experience.
I mean, everybody's been invited to the dinner party.
Sure, Graham will go to the dinner party.
That's right. I remember this now.
Okay, then Element will go too, even if he's tired.
Wasn't someone else invited over to the dinner party randomly?
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, the
He
shopkeeper.
told you.
Yeah, he told you to expect guests. Well, he told you to expect a guest for the dinner party. For the record, he is making braised chicken, serving it with some cherry pies, and offering cider to go with it.
How fancy.
Fancy indeed.
And he is
Alcoholic or
making
non-alcoholic cider?
a lot. Well, it depends on what the shopkeeper gave him. He just knows he likes cider. He can never remember which kind, though.
Great, it's around this time that there's a knock on your door.
Gray is not present to answer the door. He's in his chambers.
I see.
I believe Locket was already present, though.
Yeah, it was.
So
Silver's
Locket
in
and
it.
him, you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. So I'll go answer the door.
Nim and Silver are in the kitchen preparing food.
All right.
Now, who do I see at the door?
You see the aforementioned shopkeeper, but there is a crowd behind him.
Like, how big of a crowd?
There is, if you do a swift counting, 23 other people behind him.
I slowly creak the door open and just say, "Welcome." As I
Hey.
show them inside.
Hey, is this the dinner party? The shopkeeper asks, stepping inside.
Yeah.
Great. I can't wait to see a dog cooking.
Oh, it's actually really cool to watch, from what I understand.
No fucking way. As people file into Cray's house.
I just think to myself, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna hate this."
Oh, as in more than one person?
Yeah, no, 24 people just arrived, including the shopkeeper.
He's not gonna like this. He's not gonna like this. He's not gonna like this. He's not gonna like this.
Graham is laughing.
Nim will poke his head out of the kitchen. Dinner will be... Oh, hi! Lots of people!
Hey, I brought friends. You crazy cooking dog.
I'm a wolf, actually.
Right, wolf. Crazy cooking wolf.
And I'm only slightly
Crazy
crazy.
cooking canine.
Debatable, but
That rolls off the tongue a bit better. You crazy cooking canine.
Well, I'll get more food on.
Awesome. We'll be waiting.
In the meantime, the
many
pillows are
are
really
peering
nice to
in
chew on.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Help yourself. And he'll go back into the kitchen.
I run to Cray's office and start repeatedly knocking on his door.
Yes, what is it?
the chaos loving is like disallowing chaos and running to the librarian lawman.
This
My
is
God,
not chaos loving. That's Rakdos.
Just because they learn something from their chaos doesn't make it not chaos.
That isn't. It's not even necessarily chaos. It's a fucking.
The unrestrained science is what it is.
Yes. Well, debatably, it's unrestrained science in like the engineering aspect. There's unrestrained science in the biological aspect over with the Simic.
Yes.
Yes.
But this is a social event, not engineering.
Enemy.
Yeah, no, this is a huge panic.
But yeah, you hear muffled through the door. Yes, what is it?
You want to go take a look at this?
What's going on?
How much people were you expecting by chance?
The other individuals from our ventures and the shopkeeper, I was told.
Give me a number.
3, 4.
He brought like 24 plus. As I open the door and lean out and show him the party going in the living
Door's
room.
locked.
Oh, JK.
Yeah. No, Cray is a very private individual.
Here's your clunk.
As I try and open the door.
Clunk. There's some extra tables in the hallway closet. I'll get myself dressed for a social occasion. I wish I would have been told this was going to be a social occasion.
It's crazy.
Could you do me a favor while I'm getting myself prepared for such, and make sure there's no Golgari?
Just make sure there's no Golgari?
Yeah, just go around, ask people for their signets, and if they're Golgari, ask them to leave.
Okay. So tables first or signets first?
Signets first, then tables.
Gotcha. All right, then I make my way to the guests, and then just start asking them one by one for their signets.
They seem a bit confused being asked for their signets after arriving and being let into someone's house, but the majority of them are it, with a few. Well, this is surprising. There is one Rakdos that seems to be wearing a mask and one arm is tied to his hip.
Why is it tied to his hip?
I lost a bet.
Ask him that in character. You'll probably get there soon enough.
Graham would ask. He'd be like, "Why is your hand tied to your hip?"
I lost a bet, and if I make too much of a problem, the other one's gonna be joining it.
Huh. I was expecting.
But this
There's-
might
there's
be
not-
fun enough to make me consider it.
You know, I was expecting a little something more from like losing a bet with like other Rakdoses. This seems very tame for the Rakdos.
Hey, maybe
Oh,
it
no,
wasn't
no, no,
correct us.
This is ongoing.
Ongoing.
We'll see how much we can move by the end of the night.
Oh.
So, with them being do I recognize any of them, or any of them work in the same district as me?
A few of them, most of them seem to be merchants and lower ranking members. But there is one or two actual proper researchers that you've seen in the big lab.
Awesome.
Excuse me.
All right, then I run back in the kitchen, or run to the kitchen to see if Nimna needs any help at all.
The researchers and several others are trying to watch him cook, but they seem to be having problems comprehending it. It's like there's some cognition filter that they can't glean through.
Huh. Nim, do you need help at all?
I think
Graham kind of-
Silver and I have it. Thank you.
Sure.
It's like the moment he stops cooking, I can see him, but other than that, there's just this void that I'm glaring into with all of my might.
It's just like really it's just like really like pixelated.
I can't believe he has been I can't believe I'm encountering a real life censor.
All right.
Write that down. Write that down.
You guys have fun with that. I'm gonna go get some tables.
Yeah, no, Nim is becoming quite the hot topic. Especially because not only is he a cooking dog, he's a cooking dog that that cannot be directly observed.
That just
Fascinating phenomenon.
that just makes them even more intrigued.
Yes. They are more intrigued now. They
Element and Grim, you two want to help me gather up tables?
Adam asked if he was half awake.
Graham is like,
Sure.
I have not the strength to help move tables, and I'm also kind of heavily burned, so I'm gonna pass on that, buddy.
And then
That is fair.
And I mean, after I feel I try to wake and what? Sure, I'll help.
Cool.
Yeah, I currently have 7 health out of 27.
No, you're fine. Everything's fine.
And I mean, what? It seems to be having a little bit of trouble standing up, but he nonetheless goes to help you.
What's wrong
You're
with
fine.
you, Element?
After the first table is set up, Nim comes out with a giant tray. Nobody's really certain how he's moving it. They just kind of glaze over it, but suddenly he's basically at the table with a giant tray of mozzarella sticks. I brought appetizers.
Graham will eat them.
Ooh.
He'll also pat Nim on the back. He's like, you didn't cook anything. You didn't cook anything that could talk, did you?
I mean, it all depends on the right spell. Technically, almost anything can talk. In fact, druids could actually make it so they could cast a spell and speak with any plant. So,
yeah, I meant like the goblins and whatnot.
No goblins. We're having
Okay.
chicken.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
And before this is a universe where chicken have lives.
Not a bad roll. Not a bad roll. Nim would be sampling each batch of food as it comes out, just to make sure it's good quality. So if it doesn't pass his quality inspection, so basically 15 or above, he tosses it out and starts over. He's very conscious of his quality.
I mean, many of your guests seem to be paying more attention to you than the food, but they are eating it and taking other notes. Many
Before-
questions are how a feral wolf came to possess such a degree of precision for cooking.
In before this session just turns into Food Wars.
No.
Well, Salute gave me the ability to think and talk, and I just liked food, so I decided to learn how to cook.
Graham will
A simple line of logic, but still striking. Also, Saloon?
Yes, the moon goddess. As he's coming out with a blooming onion. With his own special signature sauce.
You're becoming a more interesting phenomenon talking about things that shouldn't be talked about.
The moon goddess is something that
What do
shouldn't
you
say.
mean? Why can't we
And
talk
before
about
our next
Salune?
session- And before our next session is just going to be breaking Zim out of a lab.
It very well might be.
Where did you encounter this Saloon? Supposed goddess?
Well, now I've got to remember the name. Fuck.
Does Nim actually remember what the plane of existence was called?
He never knew
Well,
what the world itself was called and such, but he knows, like, the city and such that he was in. So insert those names here.
Their eyes practically gleam, and they look between you and said, "Yes, we have to get him before the Simic do. They will tear him apart. We'll do it politely."
Oh god, it is. This is gonna turn into a fucking laboratory jailbreak.
No. Remember, we're not the Civic. We just want to know what he knows. We don't know. We're not too interested in what he is inside. His magic, however, that's
I mean, if you want to know what I know, you could just ask.
yes, great. We have many questions. Let's talk for a
And Nim
long time
disappears for
over
like a
lunch.
month.
Or
answering these
dinner.
questions.
Absolutely, we can absolutely talk during dinner.
I wonder what
Wonderful.
for dinner.
Graham will kind of just be like, Nim, have you ever talked to Is It before? Like Is It
talked to who?
researchers before? Have you ever talked to a researcher before?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck, my friend.
Luck.
Oh Lord.
Meanwhile, Nim is still happily cooking away. They can
Some of the
remember.
re-
They can
some of the
remember
re-
what he's saying. Just that's about it. They can't even remember the sounds of him cooking.
They're trying. Some are trying to like listen into the kitchen without looking. Some are trying to look directly. Some are trying to draw what they see in any possible method to retain anything. Like, is that oil? I don't know.
He pulls out some chicken from the oven, and it just tastes a little bit of it, and is like, "Oh no, this isn't right." And he tosses the chicken aside and starts over.
Cute sense
Out of
taste.
character, did this come about after the whole like parasite infested meat thing?
Oh, his ability to cook?
No. His quality control.
Oh no, that was always there.
Some
It's-
other researchers seem to be plotting and pooling together like their wallets.
Part of why he, he's all about the taste, the quality control there. It's as far as whether or not it'll get you sick. Well, back then he couldn't really tell if it would get him sick or not because he was completely immune to all disease. Paladin paladin stuff.
Fair enough.
Now he doesn't have that, so he'll be able to tell that this isn't good for that, but, yeah.
Also, holy crap, a +8?
Eventually I'll get that higher.
How is it that high now?
Well, it's, I based it on intelligence because, a lot of it is, book learning kind of stuff for cooking. Some of it is, common sense, putting things together, but I figured intelligence was the best, stat for it. But otherwise, he's got a +2 bonus from, very good cooking utensils.
Okay, so he also has utensils too. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, no. That's not from the utensils. Where is that from? I don't know. Either way, I mean, it's cooking. It's not that
Yum.
big of a deal for it
No,
to
I was
have
just-
the
I was just-
bonuses.
I was just like, holy crap, that's a really high bonus.
now this is really good. And he brings out the next batch of chicken. So it's all nice, very nicely seasoned. He's rather fond of pepper, so it's slightly too peppery. But at the same time, the rest of the blend of the chicken and such, the other seasonings, just make it where it's a very nice combination. And of course, it's all, freshly ground and stuff. I think I killed everybody.
No.
I'm here.
Dusty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Graham being a rabbit's not really gonna eat like the meat.
Well, that's why Nim also provided the
Mozzarella
vegetarian
sticks.
option. Mozzarella sticks, I can understand you wouldn't eat those, but that's why I provided the blooming onion.
Oh no, Graham would have eaten mozzarella. It's just cheese.
Yum.
And the blooming onion. He would have had
Dusty.
those too. He would have
Yes.
ate from those two.
How's Cray's meeting going?
His meeting? Ah, yes. You can't pull up very much on your client. There have been incident reports where someone claiming to be him or claiming the name was cited, but didn't end up sticking around very long afterwards.
What incidents?
Apparently murders in
Murders?
other locations, seemingly other brigands, judging by their appearance, or perhaps they were just armed homeless or armed guildless.
Whining.
The fuck?
What's that?
I think we might have just heard Digi's mom.
Yeah, IRL stuff happens.
Rip Digi.
Or Digi.
Hello.
Hello.
And
I got it for like a
that
couple
happened.
seconds. What happened?
Apparently, there's very little that you can actually pull up on him officially, but he does seem to be involved in incidents where he was the only survivor in a murder case where he was likely the culprit.
So he was the prime suspect and got away multiple times.
Yes. But he did give testimony, but refused to leave with the guards.
Were those cases closed and finished, or is he still kind of at large for that?
Well, the guilds aren't pursuing him. The guilds aren't pursuing him very much due to him being one, surprisingly skilled as he has evaded guard pursuit multiple times. 2, not attacked any guild member that they know of. And 3, all the incidents were only able to get his testimony, as everyone else was apparently deceased. And they seemed to be poor guildless or just armed thugs with
The
no
ones that
emblems
died?
of any kind.
The ones who died?
Yes,
Okay,
the victims.
gotcha. Interesting.
They say that they can maybe pull up some more with more time. However, these are the most accessible things at the moment.
And what about new work?
there are other opportunities opening up. In fact, there has been apparently some buzz with the Orsov.
As this
In
is
regards to
going
That
on,
wish. Yeah.
as this is going on, Cray is going to hear his door rattle a bit.
He just like looks to his whatever sort of communication, likely magical device. I like to think it's an orb. And he just says, "I'll be right back." And he goes to the door, like peeks it open. Yes.
I brought you some food.
No, I'll be right out, but I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. He takes the plate back
Soft.
to the table then.
Yep. He goes back to it. Right. Work with the
Good
Orsov.
thing you answered. Nim was going to break down the door otherwise.
Oh. Well, yes. Apparently, they've had some grievances with Gruul on the outer parts of their district, and wish for them to be summarily dispatched of.
All right, this is going to be an interesting job to take. What's the
You
time
may
frame on
accept. You may accept or decline. There are others whom we can ask. However, the time frame for this one would be 3 days.
3 days? That should give us plenty of time. We shall go ahead and accept it and figure out what sort of dispute we can take care of.
As always.
And he will finish up his conversation and then get dressed for the social event. When Cray eventually does step out of his chambers, he's wearing sort of long white and blue robes with golden trim. They have the sort of very long and droopy sleeves that you might see, like this isn't to racially profile or anything like that, but like the closest thing I could think of comparatively would be like
Cardinal?
Chinese
Or-
robes.
Ah, those. Not the kimono, but like the emperor robes, right?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Or is it more Japanese?
I
mean,
want to
it's not-
say it's the Chinese. They have like the really open sleeve, like the massive sleeves. But it's
Yeah.
basically it's still very similar to
No.
a kimono, but it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. No, it is Chinese. It is Chinese. Move on. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Nim is coming out of the kitchen carrying a massive bowl of salad. Lightly dressed. There's a lot of vegetables in there. Not all of them can be easily identified, but they're definitely vegetables. And it is all
Graham
arranged
shall
very
eat the
nicely.
vegetable salad.
There's also cheese in it. And there's a small dish of diced ham to go with it, for those that wish it.
What the heck is this music? There we go.
But
Cray
anyways,
goes up to Markov.
What's it?
Cray walks up to Markov. Were there any Golgari?
Hey, Greg. Oh, no, there wasn't. But
Oh,
there
good.
was one Rakdos. The rest is all, is it?
Rakdos aren't as bad as people always make them out to be, though keep an eye on him.
For sure. Will do.
He just goes to take a seat at one of the heads of the tables. He keeps a particularly close eye on those researchers who are like taking down notes and conspiring in their corners.
Nim is very much oblivious to them. He doesn't really care, but he'll happily answer any question that they may ask. Otherwise, he's...
They are certainly asking plenty of questions, especially about Saloon, if you still have a connection with her, what she bestowed upon you, and would you like your own research laboratory to research, cookery?
I would definitely like it.
If you can impress the higher ups, they might be able to give you a grant for this, and you're interesting enough, they might say yes.
Graham is just like, in his mind, he's just like, oh my god, they're trying to recruit him so they can experiment on him.
I would absolutely
No,
love
no,
a
no.
kitchen.
That's the cynic.
Graham wants to see if he can tell what their actual intentions are, and how comfortable Cray is with what's going on.
By all
For the
means,
record,
roll insight.
He already
He's keeping
did.
an eye.
Real quick, Nim is setting up basically buffet style. This many people, it's too much for dishing out individual plates, so it's just all buffet style.
Cray would have the components necessary for buffet-style serving. Large bowls and pans and whatnot.
Well then, you get the impression they really want him to stay in the Izzet district. Long as they can, for as long as they can have him.
Well, actually, we're at Cray's place, so we're on the Transguild Promenade, which is sort of like the central area.
Mm-hmm. So they may be trying to bait him over.
No.
Cray just sips some tea.
It all depends on what they offer. I mean, his desires are very simple.
As
He
far
wants
as Cray is
food,
concerned,
He wants
Nim is
somewhere
his own person.
Huh?
As far as Cray is concerned, Nim's his own person, so if he wants to take these kinds of gestures and quote-unquote bribes, that's his prerogative.
Does my insight tell me anything about Cray's, like, if he's like weirded out by all these random people being in his house?
That depends on Cray.
He doesn't seem to be. He's wearing fancy robes, and he had tables to prepare for lots of guests. And
Yes,
as stated
but
before,
not random is it people? Graham was a little disappointed that Cray seems perfectly okay with a bunch of random people in his house. He was expecting a little bit more sweating and discomfort.
Everyone roll perception.
if anything, Cray
Is
seems
it
more
hearing or
composed.
sight based?
Either could apply.
Alright, then I'm doing hearing.
Also, what were you saying, Moriarty?
He seems a lot like very composed.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow.
A 1 and a 2? What the heck?
I know.
All right, Cray, Element, and Nim. you hear a swearing from another part of the party as the chains binding that Rakdos' arms are suddenly much more spiked, pronounced, and digging into him as he just sort of growls very loudly. That's brisk.
Could you keep it down?
Wait, who is screaming?
The Rakdos.
Not screaming, loudly growling as a chain that was wrapping his arm is now spiked.
Only if there was someone keeping an eye on him. If only.
Oh,
I-
what a
I
shame.
kind
He's
of did
bled
inform
all
you
over
to-
Kray's pillow floor.
I did ask Markov to.
If only there was someone keeping an eye on him.
Markov, what's wrong with you?
By the
I
way,
don't want to talk about
You
it.
asked an engineer to pay attention to something boring and not related to engineering or magic.
This could be related to magic. It's Rakdos.
Yeah. All right. Do I see what's So I do see what's going on, right, with Rakdos? Right.
Yes.
I did.
I feel like the only
specifically
person who
tell him to
doesn't
pay
is
attention to him.
Graham.
All right, well, I should probably go check and see if he's okay. Hey
I'm
there, buddy.
curious. I am curious real quick. Is anybody taking Nim up on his suggestion of chewing on the pillows?
I'm not.
Apart from the Rakdos, let's see.
Apart from the Rakdos.
There is one person, another vendor, seems almost convinced that you've done something to these pillows, and maybe one of them has some taste that you're not telling them about. That is like experimentally going over and nipping at these pillows, like trying to figure out which one is that one you want, that one you like to chew on. As a foodie, you must have put maybe a few spices on one. So yes, Nim, there are two people who have chewed on pillows.
Oh my.
Excellent. And what were you saying, Moriarty?
They're all freshly cleaned and probably taste like soap at best.
Meanwhile,
But yeah, so Nim is then going to be bringing out. That's good. Some cherry pies that he had baked. They were baking the entire time, and nice piping hot. He brings them out to add to the buffet.
Furry's gonna make sure to get a slice.
Oh, he brings Cray a slice personally.
Oh, thank you.
Along with a nice big wallop of whipped cream on top.
And Cray just takes it, smiles, and then positions it the opposite way that you'd think to eat it. And just fits it in his beak, and then closes his beak.
So he stuffed the crust side into his mouth first.
Well, yes, because it's triangle shaped, as is his beak. So it
I
just
mean, it
fits
makes perfect sense to me.
fits nicely in his beak. He closes his beak,
mash.
smiles softly. He doesn't seem to swallow right away. He just, smiles at him. Probably is enjoying the taste of it a bit first.
Well, Graham was just like, what a sad world to not be able to chew.
Oh, don't worry, he'll swallow rocks after.
What?
You'll swallow rocks afterward.
Why?
Birds swallow rocks to basically... they basically swallow rocks to give themselves ways to grind up their food inside their stomach.
Huh.
I forget the exact details, but it's something along those lines. I know the purpose. I just don't. There might be a sack in their throat that the rocks actually go into. I think.
Huh.
A what?
That's interesting.
A crop? Okay, apparently it's called a crop.
Huh.
That's
No,
pretty
I just imagine Cray taking his 1-a-day vitamin, which is a rock.
Gives a different meaning to passing a stone. Anyway,
That makes me think of other things related to birds that I probably shouldn't mention on stream.
anyway,
Moving
Bird-
on.
Birds are just weird. Let's just settle on that and move along.
Birds are weird.
And Graham will eat some of the pie as well. He likes pies.
these are good.
So, any other questions they're asking Nim? And any more, because he actually will ask his own questions about how he can get the kitchen, because he wants a kitchen.
Well, mostly they're asking about Saloon and where you've come from. Like, so what else about this place? I've never heard of another city.
We also went up to
from here?
we also went up to the frozen north at one point. There was lots of snow up there. Then we traveled through I think it was the Fey Wilds.
Oh, just a quick thing, Digi. The city of Ravnica covers the entirety of the plane that we exist on.
That's why they're very interested in those things he has to say, even if it's just another town that is not here. Maybe he's confused, but then he gave a name and it's like, nope, never heard of that.
Well, yeah, but he's gonna keep. He just happily gives off all the info that he has. He feels a faint connection to Salune still. She gave him his fangs as well as Silver's, and all sorts of other stuff like that.
Fascinating. So, did you meet with them themselves, or how did you commune?
How did I what?
Commune with Saloon.
She basically just talked to me in my head. But only when I was in the full moon.
Full moon. Interesting.
Yeah, I had to be in the light of the full moon, and she would talk to me through in my head and tell me what she wanted me to do.
Have you been in Ravnica very long?
What's Ravnica?
What?
I do believe it was explained. Well, I guess Nim probably just forgot.
Exactly.
It's called Ravnica. There's no way he hasn't been told this. Oh wait, no, I forgot who we were talking about for a second.
Let's see if he remembers after a moment. Oh yeah, this place. I've been here. I don't know. About 3 full moons.
Oh, yes.
I just kind of woke up here. There was a big swirling water thing. I think the others called it a whirlpool. And then I woke up here.
Hey, Red Knight, are planeswalkers accessible knowledge, or is it not very talked about?
It's not very talked about. At least in this time period, it's not very common.
All right, so these people probably may not make the connection then, if they've ever
No.
heard of it. I see.
No, it is more known in the higher echelons of every guild, but anyone that's not in those circles will not understand what this is.
They look at you like you're the greatest enigma just presented to them with a bow on top.
No, he
Yeah,
does
yeah,
not
well,
have a
a bunch of-
bow. He has a chef's hat on top. Because he's
Yes.
cooking.
But to them, it's a bow because it's a very easy bait. All they have to do is get you a kitchen for cooking research, and you'll probably stay in the Is It for a good long time.
That's evil.
Yeah, no, he won't. He likes to wander.
Well, I mean, they'll do their best.
I feel like if Nim had like an actual like full blown kitchen of his own, he might stay there for a pretty fairly regular amount of his time. Maybe not all the time, but he would spend a large portion there.
I mean, he would go in and cook for himself, but generally he would be leaving because he wants to cook for others.
Aw.
A restaurant, then.
With a warm little quarter for my pillows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. So, what would you like to know then? We have to
sorry,
make
what was that?
plans. I see. So, we may have to make some plans for how to intrigue the higher ups enough to give you the grant. But once we have that in hand, we could make your research lab establishment whatever you care to have.
Oh, okay.
So, what is it about cooking that you like the most? What is it that keeps bringing you back into other people's kitchens?
Well, it's just easier to cook in a kitchen. Have you ever tried cooking at a campfire? It's not very easy.
Well, there are some things that are best on campfires, like marshmallow.
What are marshmallows?
You will like Ravnica.
What's Ravnica? Oh, right, where we are.
They begin to exchange worried looks.
I am enjoying this.
And write down short-term memory loss possible. Highly possible.
So, yeah, the food is finished cooking. He served up everything that he planned to. They
take their time getting their filling, but they do eat.
There is one special dish that he brings out for Cray. Silver comes along with Nim. Silver is his front half has a lot of dirt and mud on it, on him.
What?
But Nim brings out a tray with a bunch of lettuce and a bunch of worms on it. They're all fried nicely and seasoned, but I made was just for you, Cray.
Cray looks over them curiously.
Birds like this stuff, right?
Now I have to ask a question for the DM. Do birds like this stuff?
Maybe actual birds. I don't know about your specific species of bird.
I don't know either.
I think that's
their
a
palate is different than regular birds.
This presents a legitimate question because I know that there are cultures in the world that do eat things like maggots and other forms of
Spiders
insects
and
where that's just
scorpions.
I guess if there
and-
was going to be one, it would be birds. So I guess that's
I
really
guess it
up
would
to
be
you
up
then.
up to his upbringing and whatnot. Because if he was, let's say, for example, from the Gruul, this would be easy pickings. But
he's like some kind of like noble, so I would lean toward no.
I'd highly doubt that they give him worms.
Well, yes, but it could just be seen as a cultural dish. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if I can play this off as it being a cultural dish. I can't play this off as it being, oh, I'm a bird, I can understand this. Or if I can't, I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking Mr. DM.
That is...
I kind of, just to put my 2 cents in here, I think it's up to you, Cray. You can decide this because it's definitely not specified in the race. So it's up to you.
It's not specified by a lot of things, but I want some DM input as well.
Okay.
That's a tough one because it's basically taking a shot in the dark for Nim.
Nim
just
understands
making another culture's food and saying like, yes, this, right? It's like trying to make Spanish cuisine as an Italian, but there is a chance if you just use the same things.
Well, no, for Nim here, he has no problems eating worms and such. He prefers other things, but he doesn't care. I mean, food is food. He'll eat goblin for crying out loud. So he doesn't really care that much. So he did taste this, and it met his approval. But his knowledge is this guy looks a lot like the birds that he would see in the forest, and the birds would always dart down and grab the worms. So he figured that Cray would enjoy it.
The real question is, do you, Digi, believe that birds, like anthropomorphic birds, would eat worms even if it was like a cultural thing? Even if it was only like a cultural kind of thing.
They would.
There you go. There you go, Moriarty. I mean, Cray.
All right.
Birds eat worms.
Because he still retains many of the bird traits, such as not chewing and swallowing most food whole.
Yeah, to be fair, you did just decided to eat a pie backwards because of that exact reason.
Now to note, this is dirt and worms.
No. Sorry, I was munching on some ramen. He did clean them. He knows most people prefer clean food. He does too, but he cleaned them, fried them, added some seasoning and fried them, and
so these are fried worms.
Yeah, and served them up
fried worms.
And he served them up on basically a bed of lettuce.
Okay, Gray will try some.
Yes.
And going off that 25 and cooking, it appears as though he will likely enjoy them.
Nim and Silver are both sitting there staring up at you, their tails swishing back and forth. Expectantly. Yes.
He's going to lean over and give Nim a pat on the head.
He gives out a small bark of joy before trotting back to the kitchen. The great bird debate.
I mean, I think at some point it had to be addressed, perhaps. So may as well do it right the first time.
Yeah.
With this party and Nim being in it, no, absolutely, this was going to have to be a discussion at some point.
Oh,
But now we know.
there are going to be many such discussions at some point.
This is wonderful.
Especially because this is a real discussion-heavy party. We
Yes.
love our discussions here.
We certainly do engage with each other very much.
Indeed.
Alright, so I guess we can go ahead and end the dinner party segment.
Yes.
And Nim would be sitting at the door to thank everybody for coming as they're headed out.
They say they'll be back as soon as they can arrange a meeting with a higher up, so that they can get that grant started. Start making plans. You're gonna be the
absolutely.
owner of a property.
Absolutely! I'll take them out hunting with me, and we'll be best friends.
Best friends.
Keep that enthusiasm. And
I wonder
they
if they
leave
like pork.
keep most of that enthusiasm.
Well, Graham is gonna go home and rest so he can tend to his burns and whatnot properly.
And then is heading to his house.
Oh, before everyone leaves, Cray would address the party before they would all go home and mention to them that he does have new work available for them.
And this work would be for...
I've received news that there seems to be some sort of conflict between Orzhov and Golgari.
Gruel.
Gruel? Who's
Yes,
Gruel?
Gruel.
The Gruul kind of always have problems with people, and I'm not really interested in helping the Orzhov. They're kind of terrible people. And, possibly want me dead.
That is true.
I'll be there.
Well,
Graham would just be like, so I guess how much does it... I guess I'll just ask, how much does this pay?
I hadn't really looked into the pay. I'm sure it'll pay nicely. It's Orzhov after all.
Element gives a thumbs up without answering verbally.
I feel like the Orzhov are more likely to be like, well, we found out this way to cheap you out of your pay.
I mean, that's why you need to carefully read the contracts that are presented.
They're likely to make very careful contracts with stipulations on how the work must be done.
Yeah, I'm also gonna assume that there's gonna be about 900 loopholes for them specifically.
Perhaps.
Also, I'm surprised you want to help the Orzhov, considering you're kind of like their mortal enemy, Cray.
We're not mortal enemies of the Orzhov. If anything, I do frequent trade with them.
I would have thought you would have taken a little bit more offense to, your rules being twisted in the way that the Orzhov do.
To be fair, they are still technically legally following the law. I may not like it, but it is good business.
You're a weird Azurius. I'll think about it.
And you are a weird Celestia.
That's because I wasn't only Selesnya. I'm working on it though. Still got some bad Orzhov habits.
T gives a soft shrug.
Is questioning everything out an Orzhov habit?
Is what now?
Is questioning everything an Orzhov habit?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
When it's not about the Orzhov, you're kind of supposed to question everything.
I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay, I'm down for another job. But first I really need to go head home and get some rest. I've been tired all this night.
Yeah, Graham will also head home. He's still kind of on the fence if he wants to help with this job. He'll be like, before that, he'll be like, and who's this job from specifically? Who's the client?
Name was not given. Unless a name was given and the DM didn't tell me.
No, it was not. This is a general request from the Orzhov Guild to have someone handle this.
Okay.
Bye! Thanks for coming! Hope you enjoyed it.
Like, the food was very good. Thank you, Nim.
We'll be back for you.
And now long rest us.
Understood.
Also, when is the court thing going on?
Well, that is, after everyone goes to bed, today.
Ah. Is
So-
there anything before the sleep-ins?
Well, as a matter of fact, I will be asking the party now. Would you like to go in and just give your testimonies or have the entire court thing? Because I have more, and there's probably more that you'd like to do. But I also have the support group. And the eagle.
I'm good with attending the court.
So am I.
Sure, let's do it. Let's go visit the legal eagle.
Nim
I
would
am
basically
legal
just
man.
follow Cray where he goes.
Alright,
I'm gonna be right
now,
Okay, Redo.
understand some of you may not be reliable witnesses and may hurt the credibility of the group, but do your best. Oh boy.
You talking about Nim, aren't you?
As someone who's tenuously with the Gruul, he almost borders on clanless.
Plans.
Or guildless.
Nim, before the court hearing, he's gonna remember the his time back in the other world and how everybody had to dress up. but he's lost his suit, so he's gonna go get one tailor-made real quick.
I see.
Tailor-made real quick. I think that takes a few days, at least.
This is a world of magic.
Oh, okay.
If you pay
Yeah.
enough, you can easily get something done quick.
Yeah, not just regular magic, but high magic, which means people have high-level spells just kind of out the ass. They're very commonplace.
I sees.
Indeed. You're getting swiftly done formal clothes would be equivalent to buying a pair of noble's clothes. Do you want to go full decadent or just like an out-of-place commoner?
He is going to go for, it's going to be, his legs are going to be open, and it's basically just a shirt, pretty much.
Alright,
Kinda more of a
so
vest
no
design.
jewelry.
Nah, he doesn't really need the jewelry.
Alright.
He's been to court before.
Fair enough.
Ray wears his specifically appointed court clothing.
Graham just wears what he always does.
A hoodie.
How did you
know, I've seen judges that will literally just kick you out of the courtroom if you do that. I had to be a witness, and it was actually kind of nice because I got out of work, got paid more than I do working. They paid me hourly for it, and the accused showed up in ripped jeans and a t-shirt, and the judge was like, "You are not going to be in my courtroom with that. You go down the street right now and get yourself something nice."
Sounds like someone had jury duty.
And I got to sit there playing on my DS and getting paid for it.
Was the jury expected to dress nicely?
Generally the jury is, yes. But this was not a big enough case for a... this was not a big enough case for jury. It was just the judge. Basically...
What are you doing?
Basically, the kid, I had caught the kid, shoplifting.
Oh, so you were testimony.
Yeah, I was witness, like I said.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was there because they had to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt, and so they needed a witness at least, and so I got to get paid by the court to sit there and play on my DS for like 2 hours while the kid was driven off by his parents to get a new outfit, and yeah.
You get a decent pair of fucking jeans.
Yeah, well, no, he had to get some slacks. Slacks and a button-up shirt.
Now, do these standards apply in Ravnica?
That is a good question for the DM.
I mean, Graham wears is not really just like a hoodie. It's more like a battle cleric garb, if anything.
I'll say standards are placed on a a guild by guild basis.
Rakdos, just put a shirt on, please.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, yes. Shirt. One shirt. Just one.
This is a shirt. No, there's more. Dear God.
I feel like the Rakdos would be the people who would be like, you see this sign that says like no shoes, no shirt, no service, and literally only wear like a shirt and shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I say a guild by guild basis, because there is also Gruul
That is hilarious.
And Golgari.
So I'm gonna
and Golgari.
just for the record, I'm picking up fine clothes. And I'll be
That's
paying
fine.
the normal 1.5 times for feral stuff.
Fine. Yes.
Adam is bringing his fancy clothes because he obviously has some.
Of course.
Cray has outfits for occasions.
You will get a message that you were briefly considered for either jury or judge.
I don't think Cray's a librarian. They wouldn't consider him for a judge.
They could.
maybe like the stenographer or something, but
What's a stenographer?
it's the person who basically types up everything that happens in the courtroom.
Ah,
You know that
I mean,
little
I'm
person
a
who's
witness,
like
so they
by the
can't
judge,
really
like
consider
typing everything. That's a stenographer.
ah. Also, what were you saying, Moriarty? Hello?
Couldn't be considered to be a judge since he's doing the witness stuff. He could potentially be considered as a potential lawyer in a case where he is not being a witness.
Yeah, but a judge would be like some kind of high-ranking Azurius, or at least some kind of like upper mid-level Azurius, I would imagine.
I mean, they said this in a joking fashion.
A judge would be an elected position.
Good to know.
Nim and Silver will be going up
Judges
to
are probably
Cray.
like hand.
They'll go up to Cray before they head out. Could you help us get dressed?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't quite have time to get it done up like our
You can
other
cook.
stuff is. What?
You can cook. You can cook. You can move things. You can do all sorts of things that a normal feral animal couldn't do. But you can't get dressed.
Not in this stuff. And he can only carry things easily when he's, cooking, because that's all part of the cooking process.
It's all part of the curse. It's all part of the curse.
He's got that grab thing that he can do.
Huh?
He's got that grab thing he can do.
I don't know if did I pick up Mage Hand? No, I do not have Mage Hand. I don't know what
I didn't
grab
say
thing
Mage
you're
Hand.
talking about.
The thing where he can look at something and put it in his inventory.
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't really apply to clothes.
Oh, you can't hit equip?
No, not quite that easy.
Hmm.
His armor is specially made that he can put that on and take it off easily, but regular clothing, not so much.
Alright, he'll try to help him into his clothes, as well as Silver.
Thank you! Alright, we're ready to go. You ready to go? We're ready to go.
I'm ready.
We're gonna go?
He
Yes!
goes to open the door to let them out.
Your lawyer, the familiar legal eagle, looks upon this motley crew with some concern before sitting down and saying, "All right, so just to be on the safe side, there are a few minutes before we must go in. So I'd like to make a quick review with all of you. Hopefully we can wrap this up swiftly, as there is a great amount of evidence in there. He will be found guilty, for sure. However, the sentencing may fluctuate depending on how concise you all are and how many questions you can answer.
Do I get his in? I want his in.
If you do well, we may be able to seize his assets.
Though, in technicality, the assets are currently going to the accused. Is it accusant?
Wouldn't they go to the Boros?
Well, no, because he's being specifically accused by Kobold.
Morath.
Yes, by Morath.
Yes, but it would be out of his hands and closer to yours. So perhaps Morath could bestow it upon you with sufficient work done. But do you really want a guild wolf?
Do I want a what?
Do you really want a building?
I want the kitchen. You can keep the rest of the building.
That's not how it works.
Oh, so people can own trees, but they can't own a single part of a building?
It's not just the tree, there's the lawn also, if I'm understanding you correctly.
What's a lawn?
The grass
So,
in front of the
Nim,
house.
Graham will step in and be like, it's like saying that someone else can own the entire rest of the tree as long as you own a single branch that's still attached to said tree. It's not that it can't be done, it's just weird and people don't do it.
Oh. Well, I'll take the rest of the inn too then.
Dead silence.
I'm perfectly fine with monetary compensation.
All right. Are you aware of what court etiquette is?
Graham is just gonna be, he's gonna kind of shrug, like, he might. I don't know. He's kind of weird and knows things that he shouldn't know, and just completely clueless in other things.
Oh,
Oh, yes, I
For
know.
all of you.
oh, wonderful. What is it?
Well, first off, you have to get dressed up fancy, and then you tell the judge and the other attorney what happened and answer questions. Oh, and you gotta rise when the judge comes in.
Close. Very close. All right. Do not speak until spoken to, and answer what is asked of you with as little bias or extra talking.
Okay, I can do that. And then I get my in?
If
Don't-
you do so well.
Ah, yes.
You're
I will do it
They're
well.
not-
Graham will be like, you'll probably have to buy the inn or something afterwards, but it will probably be available for purchase or whatever have you.
You may also have to pay taxes to the Boros.
Adam,
If
Adam,
you-
Adam, Adam is going to mention. Do not mention the inn while we're in there, by the way, because then you'll be your testimony may get tainted if you're actually asked.
It'll make it sound like you're only accusing this guy to get the inn.
Oh. I gotcha. He puts one of his paws up to his forehead in a kind of salute.
Graham somehow becoming the normal person to Nim translator. But then,
All
but then
right.
again, it makes sense because he probably actually like is around other like awakened animals, and it's just like, yeah, no, I get how they kind of think.
All right. Let's do this. But he seems unsure and is tugging at his tie. As you are all brought into the courtroom, Millinor, the large badger, sits.
By the way, I'd
And
like to throw out
he's-
there.
What?
I'd like to throw out there that today's donation goal is called a flex tape collar.
Yes.
Flex tape collar? What?
Yeah.
See.
I'm just gonna throw that out there, by the way, in case none of you have noticed.
That is wonderful.
That is the
Yeah, no.
donation goal.
What an awful collar, though. Can you imagine? Anyway. You are all brought in to be seated. And the legal eagle goes over the facts with you and says that the defense really doesn't have a lot to work with. They'll probably try to attack your character, or try to bring up some
Hey guys, what's going
surrounding
on?
details that may
Hey?
color the jury's perspective of you.
So object an ad hominem. You're a lawyer. It's up to you to point out the objections.
Yes,
Shin.
true enough, but don't give them more ammo to work with, and we can wrap this up fast. Zim?
Yes?
Oh, sorry. I thought that was coming from you.
What?
I heard a Discord call.
Yeah, that was a Discord sound effect call.
Oh.
Anyway. The judge comes in, and the all rise is given.
Sorry. Before they go in, Graham will be like, there is one thing that we should mention that Nim kind of stole the guy's pantry.
Let's hope they look over that.
But I did inform him of it, and you know.
So did I. In fact, I tried to stop. I tried to stop it from happening, and I failed. That would just look bad on me, though.
I see.
Alright, I am ready. I've got the Phoenix Wright sound effects up.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I see. You are in fact prepared. No,
By
no
the way-
objection.
But by the way, I don't get there. Who is excited for the Great Ace Attorney?
I am.
There's a new game coming out for it.
Yeah, the one that was put in the in the distant past that they didn't look at for because Sherlock Holmes was part of the plot.
What?
I think
Are
you
you telling me
mean
there's-
I believe there's another Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton coming.
No. It's a game called The Great Ace Attorney that the main character is apparently somebody from is set in the distant past from the mainline games. And while it's not confirmed, the most prevailing thing about why he wasn't localized before is because Sherlock Holmes was part of the plot.
The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Mm-hmm. It's funny to get it. They're bundling it in with other what you call it with other parts of the other franchise, and they're finally localizing it for the first time. Like it was a game that came out before, and they're localizing it. For
Yeah,
the first
before the events of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. Let's do this.
The judge walks in, and you're given the command to all rise.
Krim will comply.
Rise.
Element stands up and bows slightly.
Nim will stand up.
Markov will rise.
Excellent. The judge is seated and orders the rest of the room to also be seated. Before turning to the prosecution and saying, "We will now begin with the trial of Millinor." Is the prosecution ready, Your Honor? Or is the prosecution ready? We're ready, Your Honor, the Eagle says, rising. And the defense? We are also ready, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Payne. Now, to begin, what crime has the prosecutor, what crime has the defendant, or has the accused been cited for? The
Are you okay, DG?
Yeah, I shouldn't have eaten before this. My throat's getting old. Anyway, Millinor has been accused of attempted assassination of a group of guild members from varying guilds, including the Selesnya. A hush falls over the courtroom before he continues, as that alone is significantly grave. Following this, there also seems to be evidence tying him to a group that has systematically killed numerous other guild members. Specifically, the majority of them appear to have been Orzhov, judging by the amount of emblems gathered from the crimes
Scene.
This was done within the Boros Legion's district. And one of them carried a note detailing when the group would be arriving and that they would specifically be with money. We also have a handwritten note from him provided by one of the witnesses to confirm that this handwriting is indeed his own.
Jason, is this yours?
Okay, apparently Digi has been pulled away. We
Oh,
apologize for this. It happens.
Unfortunately, it happens.
What a court case.
It's too bad he got pulled away on an event where we can't really chat with each other because we're in the middle of a cover room.
I mean, Nim's gonna lean over to, we'll say he's sitting next to, Locket. Hey, you want a tortilla?
Oh yeah, no, I'm down. Pass that over.
He will, summon out one of the tortillas into, Locket's hand.
Cool, thanks. And the locals call me Markov.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
I chuckle as
I
I begin
mean-
eating my yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess I did call you that in, character.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it happens.
Oh,
Sometimes I think maybe we should change our names for if in the or Discord names for this.
That
For-
really
for the
will not
group.
help at all.
no.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'll also like make my other Discords mad too, because I already change my name as it is quite often.
Oh, do you? I
Mhm.
do. I was thinking just for the session, not like permanently.
No. It's all good.
Yeah, fair enough. Enemy is going to stare daggers at the whatchamacallit, Nim's shenanigans happening right in front of him.
I'm gonna continue to
Oh,
secretly eat my
sorry.
tortilla.
Did you want one too? There you go.
Enemy,
And he pops it out in your lap.
Element rubs his temple and hides the tortilla.
So, man, what was it like at the other, like, your before playing? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Oh, it was pretty fun. We did lots of stuff there. We took down a cult, and then another cult, and then a third one. And we kind of faltered when we were taking down the fourth one. I think they might have destroyed the entire world.
Ouch. That kind of sucks.
But then again, I guess not, since, I'm still alive, so who knows?
That's fair. That's really fair.
Element listens with a tiny amount of curiosity.
Graham was just like, weird stuff happens all the time in this place.
The destruction of the world is weird.
He says, after they just had a dinner party with a censored wolf that, cooks. Or that's only censored when it's cooking for like no reason whatsoever.
This is why I color a cursor.
I mean, there's plenty of reason. It makes it easier to not have to describe how he's managing it. I know
This is
how
why I-
he's managing it, but it's easier to not have to.
I'm honestly curious.
Alright. Where was I? Ah, yes.
Welcome back,
The
PG.
prosecution was ready, the defense is ready.
Just to let you know, name some tortillas while you were gone.
Ah, Well, be discreet about it. And hopefully it won't draw the attention. It won't draw the judge's ire.
Oh no, he was very discreet about it.
So, bring forth the accused. And Millinor is made to take the stand. All right, I knew it'd come to this. Have at me, you bastards. I ain't got nothing to hide. State your name and profession. I'm Millinor. I'm the owner of the. I'm a tavern owner in the Boros district. What else do you need?
What?
Doesn't he have
I
something
said
to
I
add?
was. I said I was ready with them. I didn't say I'd use them at appropriate times.
No.
You know, I suppose that's fair.
God, I love that.
Part of me wants to go with the what you've seen of Nim so far, but he does actually know to be quiet and stuff in a courtroom.
How long did it take the previous party to teach him that?
Not long. The attorney explained it to him, and he understood and was like, okay. Plus, he wanted to see justice served. Because the guy was stealing his likeness and making it into a chew toy. Well, he called it a plush, but, you know, it was a chew toy. Anyways, back to Digi arguing with himself.
Unfortunately so. Well, I guess.
I mean, you do have Red Might. You could have him argue on one side.
I suppose I could. Red Might, would you like to take the Eagle, or would you like to take Millinor?
Oh.
I am aware I've taken you off guard, but you basically know everything, yes?
Sorta, yeah, but I wasn't ready to just roleplay these guys. Alright.
Pardon.
I think I'd be better off not doing the eagle, though.
Alright, Millinor it is.
Dusty has a very good legal eagle voice.
Yeah, I believe he's more suited for that.
Then you can do Millinor then, the bad guy.
The Badger, your first client,
The
whom
Badger
you
guy.
have made mad, whom
Hey, Eisen, I need you to talk in the stream chat to give you crowns.
Alrighty, right. There we go.
Oh,
G. Did you?
ready to go.
Could you just, can we talk in a different room real quick?
Oh, sure. Excuse me.
Oh, for the love of all that is holy.
They're discussing what they're going to be doing.
They're discussing a way for a rocks fall, everyone dies situation.
So Digi doesn't have to argue with himself.
Maybe
I
we should have
wonder-
just kept Digi with as arguing with himself. It would have been more fun.
I like to see Reda doing a voice though. I think it's
As
fun.
I hear one of my roommates scream from the kitchen like he's being murdered.
You should probably check that out.
Oh, I remember having roommates. Those were the days.
Hey, Oram, you okay? He's not responding. I think he's dead. But the
Big
show
rip.
must go on, so we'll check on him later.
Big sad.
If he is dead, it'll be ratings gold for you.
Yeah, but then I'll get banned. So I don't really want to, find out if he is actually dead or not. Because if he is dead, then I get banned from Twitch, and I don't want that.
Logan Paul didn't get banned. You.
Yeah, that
If,
would
if,
be
if,
pretty
if he's
bad.
dead, just lie and say that he was just seriously injured, and you need donations to help him recover. There you go.
That's horrible.
I need donations for the funeral.
Oh,
That's horrible.
As I hear a thud.
The funeral party.
The funeral party.
oh.
Come
The
back.
funeral be streamed just as much as the trucking was.
You can't spell funeral without fun.
Well,
You guys,
You guys missed some fun discussions. So my
So we
roommate
did.
is dead in the kitchen. One
Nice.
of them, and we're just discussing how I don't want to go check and make sure that he's not dead, or if he is dead or not, because then I might get banned from Twitch, and the show must go on. So do carry on with arguing with yourselves.
Oh, don't worry. You'll be called in very shortly. So, how does the defense plead? We plead for justified self-defense, sir. Interesting. Witness, will you give your testimony regarding the charges?
Absolutely. Well, from where do I start? I originally contracted these individuals to eliminate some pesky goblins that were for my inn. Standard affair, things happen, raids, goblin gangs, whatnot. I thought it'd be a simple thing for these individuals to handle, but seems they caused much more problems than anticipated, as they just destroyed my property, had no concern for it. Not only that, not even concerned for my own property that they took. Just a mess, complete mess, absolute disregard of what the contract was supposed to be. And now I'm being accused.
Graham
of all
raises
this.
an eyebrow, mentally thinking, "How does that explain all the dead bodies of the people that you are linked to that tried to assassinate us?"
he didn't say that out loud.
I know.
No, Graham did not say that out loud. He said it in his head.
Very well then. Is that the entirety of your Is that the entirety of your first testimony?
Yes, that is the basics of everything of what happened.
Very well.
Graham internally is laughing as this tavern owner just kind of completely ignored like half the charges laid against him.
You may now cross-examine the witness. Thank you, Your Honor. Now, to begin with, how did you encounter these individuals? Surely you had a meeting spot set beforehand, not too close to the tavern to ensure your own safety, correct?
Of course, I did meet him beforehand. Around, I can't remember, out of character. I think it was like not too far away, like maybe a couple streets away where they met.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly. It
That's-
was okay. It's been a minute, so I was trying to remember. Yeah, so back in character. We did meet up in a safe location several streets away from my inn, so I could tell him the situation.
And how did it go from there? Surely you didn't accompany them, so you can't prove for certain that they were the cause of the damage. It could have been the goblins, after all. They don't tend to have much regard for structural integrity, many of them carrying bombs, even.
Yes, but I could have. They were the only ones in the vicinity as well. Not only that, but they had the capacity to help remedy it, but did nothing over it as well.
Help remedy the situation?
Out of character, who was the? Man, I'm sorry. It's been such a long time since that happened. I can barely remember these things.
That's fine. Well, surely while there are some capable of magic, you can't be sure that any of them possess the spell mending. So that is just an assumption on your part.
They do have magical users. They even have a talking dog.
Yes, he's a magically inclined individual, a gruel. However, as I stated previously, you cannot
I
be
am
sure
not
that they
a dog,
have that
I
they
am a
possess
wolf.
mending.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
Graham is gonna be like, hey, Nim.
That was
Group has
clearly
been known
talking
for
to me.
savagery and destruction of property as well.
Nim, you gotta let the lawyer do his thing. You don't let this man bait you into getting in trouble.
He
The
even tried
defense
to bite me.
He's just going to give a sad whimper, looking up at the judge with his big old puppy dog eyes.
Witness,
Sounds-
is this true? Did you attempt physical harm upon the accused?
In self-defense after he tried to bite me.
I did not.
Especially if I'm assaulted, I can
did
defend
not.
myself.
Sorry, what do you say?
Kray's going to
Nim.
just gently place a hand on Nim's head, lean over and gently state, "Do not speak unless spoken to. Remember the rules if you want to your tavern."
He will nod and just quietly lower his head.
I also lean into Nim.
You'll,
Can I
you'll
also
have,
get another tortilla?
you'll have your turn to speak. Don't worry.
Later.
Very well, then this shall be applied to the court record that you were apparently assaulted beforehand.
Yes.
Then just,
The defense will pipes up. It does not help matters that investigation of the building afterwards shows that while some damage was caused by explosions, there were other instances where it seems that the doors were forcefully broken down with a singular powerful strike from an outside force. Something which a goblin by themselves would be unable to accomplish. Therefore, we have no choice but to suspect the party of doing damage to the buildings themselves.
Enemy is going to look at markup.
See, damage to my property. When all I wanted was the goblins gone.
Be that as it may, they did still succeed in. Perhaps these were just the measures that needed to be taken to eliminate all the goblins.
I will not deny that at least the goblins were gone. But does that mean that they had to raid my property from that? There was nothing that told them they could just take my things. Specifically, my food.
It is stated on the record that the one named Otar had taken food rather than payment. However, in the end, you did not have to give him gold. Thus, in the end, you came out with more of a profit. He did not take the money's worth of. He did not take his sum's worth of food. Left you with the coin, correct?
That is correct.
While these actions were not proper, they were not done with malicious intent. As you can see, he is a simple-minded gruel.
Yeah, emphasis on the simple-minded, I can see.
However,
Nim gets a pat on the head.
it then
He
calls
is
into
barely
question.
holding back from growling.
It is then calling into question your actions afterwards. Supposedly, when you gave the note to the brigands that assaulted them the very following day. According to the handwriting analysis gained by the one Cray, it matches your handwriting almost exactly. A note that was found on one of the thugs that assailed them afterwards in a powerful skirmish taking place not too far away inside the Boros territory sewers.
This has to be a mistake. Why would I do that in such a strange location? If I wanted to do something, I would have done it myself.
Well, having witnessed their abilities firsthand, since you couldn't take care of the goblins and they could, it stands to reason that you would feel that you could not take them on yourself.
Bah.
Not to mention, it was every single one of them that had worked for you previously. The same group, completely and entirely. Just the following day, in fact. This can't be a mere coincidence, sir.
Has to be false. Can't. Nope.
You have nothing to say in defense of yourself. The defense pipes up. This is merely planted evidence. You cannot be certain. I beg to differ. On that note, it says explicitly where they would be, and to make sure that damn dog pays. It can't be referring to anyone other than this specific group.
Oh no.
But you see, there are two dogs in this group.
Oh no.
Which one would he be referring to? Semantics. Answer the question, prosecutor. Well, it then stands to reason that it was probably the Nim Otar, the one who raided your pantry.
Any lowlife could be
Also,
a dog.
I'm pretty sure Silver can't talk and isn't awakened. He's just a normal wolf.
Yes.
No, he is sentient, But no, he can't really talk common, and he is pretty simple, but...
Good to know.
We've also received it from the client himself that you were assisting him in setting up this meeting point. It seems that both of you had knowledge of this group beforehand. This was a group that the client had that their current client had grievances with due to their activities. However, it seems that you met with them beforehand and warned them. Do you have some connections with this group?
I have any connection with them? None at all.
Then how did this note end up in their possession, handwritten by you to attack them?
It's not mine. I didn't write it.
The handwriting analysis clearly shows that this is a match for your writing.
Forgery, to blemish my good name. All I wanted was my end. That's all I wanted.
So then, can you say that you harbor no ill intent towards this group?
After all said and done, they might have bitten in me, but our contract was done.
True, it would bring a lot of trouble down on you
Of course.
if
Why
this
would I
was
want to
tied
lose
back
everything?
to you. That's why there was such an extensive group. In fact, looking back, it seems rather fortunate that they won due to a sealing accident. Many of them had been gravely wounded at the time and were nearing their demise. However, there were only two people who could have possibly had knowledge of where they would be going, you and the client. And I can't imagine a client would just ask for people to have them show up dead, especially when payment was given first.
Like I said, forgery, not mine. I couldn't, like I said, why would I want to do this when I would lose everything for it?
Well then, I suppose we'll be getting nothing more out of this witness until we get something a bit more decisive.
Graham will like lean over and like nudge the legal eagle and like whisper like, I'm pretty sure he probably is connected to the brigands and stealing all the money from the Orzov.
Well, we'll have to get something a bit more decisive to prove that.
I mean, why else would he know these brigands? Well enough
Well-
to,
Well, he's certainly not admitting the connection, but apart from the note that he continues to claim is forgery, even if it's the weakest defense I've heard yet, it is still something.
Graham will just
And in a-
nod.
And in a world of magic, forgery isn't impossible. Especially with the mirror running around.
Graham will be like, you know what? I'm really surprised that there isn't a zone of truth here.
You'd think, but you can't make people fail it. So it's a really hit or miss.
I don't think. I think the zone of truth, out of character. I think the zone of truth people can choose to like accept it, and if they try to resist it, the person casting it knows.
Oh.
Yeah,
aware of
I'm
this.
almost
Yeah, it
positive.
should work like that. Yeah, it does work like that.
So yeah, I'm super surprised there's not a zone of truth in it or in a oh my god, Azurius courtroom.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there being one. I actually feel like in the higher courts, it's almost mandatory to use those.
True, but this
Probably.
isn't a higher court. This
Yeah, that's
But-
what I mean. It just depends, and also
in
what
a-
kind of
For
You
the
know-
magical world, this is probably small claims court.
yeah, for the higher stuff like I'm
Really
pretty
small
sure they do.
mass murder is small claims court.
In Ravnica, yeah. This is like
In Ravnica, yeah.
the Azorius deal with this on a daily basis, especially considering all the gang's violence. You do,
And
'cause
especially
you
when the
are in a
Orzhov
more
get-
violent.
Especially when the Orzhov likely do things like mass murder and legally get away with it.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Listen, they signed a contract, and even though they're dead, they still work for us. Deal with it.
Yep.
This ain't marriage till death do us part is not one of the lines the Orzhov know.
Yep.
It's
You either pay this
when,
life or
when
the
you
next.
die, you continue working for us.
Yep.
All right. I'd like to call the first witness up. Graham Ashfeld.
Graham will stand up and go to the stand or whatever.
Name and profession, if you please.
I am Graham Ashfell, and I'm a Selesnya Conclave Initiate.
Now, can you testify as to what Millinor has stated before the court?
He hired us, and the contract specifically said that the building needed to be standing, and it was.
So, you fulfilled all the requirements of the contract. There were not many details added to it. An understandable.
Correct. And we had informed him of the what he wants to call the bleh. Nim procuring pantry supplies, and he did not pursue them at the time, so
Now, was your Nim aware that this was improper?
truthfully, I don't think he did. He seems to have he is intelligent, but he also kind of lacks the normal common sense.
Hello?
Hello.
Very well then.
Hello.
So, we can attribute Lim's lack of. We can attribute the food taking to Lim's lack of common sense, as stated by one of his co-workers.
Yes, and as you know, with the Selesnya, we have a lot of awakened animals. It's very common kind of thing that they don't quite understand the rules the same way we do until they're taught properly. And he's a Gruul awakened animal, so I don't think any
Well,
of them are
Nim is,
teaching him common sense.
Nim is pouting
Of
and
course.
whining.
No objections so far.
Gray continues to give Nim pets.
Elamin reaches out to do the same.
The defense pipes up. Objection! If you are aware of him, you should have informed him of such. If he were a reasonable and good canine, then he would have done as he was supposed to and returned the food, rather than antagonizing the client specifically. Also, there was the matter of the bite beforehand.
Graham will just be like, look, we're all from different guilds. Quite frankly, I'm not really interested in starting a inter-guild conflict. even if it is with the Gruul, without, a necessary cause. And again, I'm an initiate. I pretty much only, it's not my job to be like, oh hey, this guy, I'm only, I have to be, if it's not my quest, it's kind of out of my jurisdiction. And again,
Very well, then.
the tavern owner could have very well have informed the Boros or the Azuris or any of our other law governing bodies and had action taken, but he never did. And instead he had helped recommend us for another mission.
Silence.
I see. So then, due to your lack of kinship, you let him do as he wished.
No lack of proper, papers and contracts that allow me to take actions against other guilds without, repercussions on a personal level stopped me. I'm sure all of us here know better than anyone that, there's certain situations in which you're allowed to act and do certain things, and other situations in which you're not. I wasn't endangered. I couldn't really call it self-defense. And again, I as a low-ranking member, I kind of need authorization to take action against people from other guilds. Unless, my life is directly endangered.
Very well then, no further objection. Now, could you tell us more about your dealings after that incident?
Sure. So, we were hired, again, recommended by the tavern owner, to take part of another mission, and we discovered that it was a trap because whenever we got there, they very specifically stated that they were looking for us. And quoting the exact words the tavern owner used to describe Nim as a damn dog, which he's a wolf, not a dog. They were wondering where we were and where the damn dog was. Which again, he's a wolf, not a dog.
That's besides the point. So he referred your group to the client. It was just as easy for the client to then attempt such a thing. With you dead, he could obtain the gold back easily.
I mean, that would be a little weird considering that, you know, he helped us retrieve, you know, money and evidence, that, we helped him bring back to the Azurius court.
Fair enough, but it doesn't clear him of all suspicion. He's guiltless, for goodness sake, according to these files. All of his actions must be held under additional scrutiny for operating site Ravnica, under no authority.
I mean, possibly, but that's not really my jurisdiction. All I'm telling you is what I can tell you, and that, from from the fact that he's helping us kind of investigate these people. And again, we were referred to him by the tavern owner. So why would they be looking for us if we were recommended? Like, again, this was almost like a very short time afterwards. This man had no indication of who we were, but they were looking for us specifically.
Very well. It is indeed a strange circumstance, so there could be the possibility that there was perhaps a third party involved.
I mean, we do have the people who were in there, but again, why would they refer to us as a party, never having met us or seen us or interacted with us previously, and refer to our wolf companion in the same manner that the tavern owner did? Who continued to do it out of spite, I might add.
Given your previous interactions, I believe that it stands to reason that manners would no longer be on the table.
Agreed. But again, it's still a very specific phrasing to, refer to someone that people have never met before.
Well, perhaps it was just simple frustration. He is very obviously canine.
Yes, but
Who
again,
looks like he has a penchant for trouble.
possibly. But again, why would people who never met us, have never seen us, refer to him in the exact same way as the tavern owner, despite never seeing us before? Graham will just kind of, raise a questioning eyebrow at the defense lawyer.
Well,
Does he
that,
look like a dog?
I can't
Does everyone
say
else
for
see a
sure.
dog?
What were you saying, Redo?
He's throwing it. He just threw it out to his lawyers, like putting his head like, "Oh, does everyone else see him the same way? Like, if as a dog?"
Yes.
It's like the common people are just like, "Oh, doesn't he look like a dog?" Anyone
Yes,
would just
but,
say he's a
but
dog.
why would they refer to him as that damn dog?
As as
That could be
Lilianor
any
has frequently
lowlife,
taken
calling
to
them
calling them.
scoundrels, dogs, scum.
Maybe if they were like, "Where's the dog?" But no, they're like, "Where's that damn dog?"
Goes to the same. Where's that scumbag? Where's that dog? Where's that little lowlife? Just jargon of the scum of the earth.
Graham will wait for a lawyer to ask a question.
Well, the defense attorney is certainly trying to think of anything, but he's going flat. So the lawyer continues. Very well then.
Graham is like, "Thank you, Orzov." You like it mentally. He's thinking this. It's like you've done something useful for once in your lives. You've taught me how to lawyer speak.
And not only that, not only were you assaulted in this place, but apparently you've discovered the remains of many other guild members before you, yes?
Yes.
This seemed to have been a long-running system. According to this report here from the clanless Morath, it seems that bodies of other guild members were routinely placed inside barrels that were then taken to the Golgari's dump sites, disposable decomposing trash, by these brigands. Why this has gone unnoticed until now is very suspicious. It can only suggest that perhaps there is a connection and someone assisting them. Isn't that right?
Graham, like, possibly, but that would require us having, found the identities of who these people are, and he'll kind of look to the tavern owner and just be like, and determine who they last interacted with. I mean, these were low-ranking, initiates mostly. People who, if they go missing, the guilds might not really necessarily look into until it became excessive. And we all know that, it's not always easy to be in a guild. Some people, just wander off and return to their lives. But maybe, I'm thinking, this is all, just my opinion, but someone might have been feeding misguided adventurers to these brigands, leading them to dangerous situations.
Well, it also does not assist the accused that you found the note on one of the deceased attackers. Am I correct?
Yes, we found a note, and then later found the had the handwriting compared to our tavern owner here.
No further questions then. Thank you for your time, Witness Graham.
Graham will stand up and return to his seat.
Enemy is going to whisper to Ram, "I think you did great."
Thanks. Although I'm pretty sure that Nim didn't appreciate me trying some of the things I, might have said to, try to, defend him.
It wasn't that bad. Thank you.
Graham will nod.
Anyways, moving on.
We will now call the next witness. And he looks over to his gallery and notices that Nim seems to be having a very hard time. Much more of this, I mean, he may not be able to contain an outburst. So with a reluctant sigh, he calls Nim Otar. Please take the stand.
Nim will run up happily, taking a seat at the stand. Hi!
Name and profession, if you please.
Nim Otar Bone Chomp. Profession? What is profession?
Your job.
It just look at the
Oh.
legal eagle and just be like, really?
Standard procedure, I'm
Job.
afraid.
Job.
You're a guild member of the Poro. You're for the Gruul, yes.
The Gruul. Oh yeah! They wanted to be my best friends. Hello?
Yes, alright. With the Gruul. That's good enough. You've been with them for how long?
About 3 moons.
3 days?
No, moons.
Months, right, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you guys
we
call
were
it. Yeah,
silent.
that's right.
Thank you. Now, do you have any testimony you'd care to add to the court regarding the testimonies heard previously? And please stick only to the fact.
Well, fact number 1, I am a wolf, not a dog, or a damn dog.
Thank you very much, Nim. Anything else?
I mean, from what I know, this guy tried to have us killed, and, well, he didn't succeed. But he did try. It was really rude of him.
I see. And how are you sure about this?
I mean, I saw the, paper. It smelled the same as the, guy.
It had a scent on it.
Well, yeah, can't you smell it?
Our noses aren't quite as precise as yours.
Oh,
It just smells like paper and whatever came into contact with it most recently.
well, it was faint, but it was there. Very unmistakable.
Interest.
The guy smells dirty.
Now, just one moment. As this is an unverifiable source, this could be your simple bias. You could just be trying to confirm what the previous witness.
Nim tilts his head. What do you mean by bias?
The legal eagle raises a hand and says, "Now, Nim, you are a wilder sort than most of us. So, as it stands to reason, I do not believe that Nim is capable of such intrigue or plotting beforehand. As we can all see, he's a very free-spirited wolf."
As he is just looking absolutely confused by what the hell the guy's saying.
As we can all see, it is plain as day this is not acting. As stated before, he is Gruul, plain and simple. They would never do such. They would never accomplish such trickery, especially so on the moment. The defense
Yeah,
looks
they
angry,
wanted-
but isn't sure where to attack that.
Yeah, they wanted to be my friends. They gave me a very nice pillow. But their kitchen needed some work.
Nim, so what were your interactions with the innkeeper, Millinor?
Oh, that guy was just mean. He kept calling me a damn dog over and over, and I am clearly a wolf.
Anything else? Incidents between the two of you?
Well, I gave him a customary warning not to keep calling me a dog, and otherwise I went and did his job for him and took my payment as I normally would.
In Ravnica, for completing missions, we generally go to the client and receive coins from them. Were you aware of this fact?
Oh, yeah. You two-leggers are really weird about that. You can't even eat these things.
Well, no.
And he
they
summons
are,
a bunch of copper coins on the banister, leaning in to give one a bite and making a sickened face. See, there's you can't eat them.
He sighs but seems oddly pleased and says, as we can all witness, his concepts, or his grasp on most common concepts of civilization are strained at best. He doesn't even understand the concept of money. Therefore and thusly, there was no malicious intent in the raiding of his pantry.
Just my fair pay. Though it was a little light. But, I'm happy to help when I can.
Thank you, Nim. Anyway, you were also there and assaulted in the sewers, yes?
Oh yeah, that underground place. Yeah, some people came in asking about the damn dog, and I kind of figured that they were friends of the innkeeper, and I tried to go say hi, but then they tried to stab me.
Word specifically, yes?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Do you have anything else to add? I believe I've gotten all I need.
I'm not an awakened animal. I'm different from them.
No, really?
Yeah. I was raised like this by S1E5.
The legal eagles seems to start being worried and says, I'm sure that S1E5 is a very kind person. You may step down from the stand now.
Oh, okay. He trots back to the where he was seated before.
Next to the stand, I would like to call forth Markov.
Hey, that's me. Okay.
Markov tells,
I broke the stand.
could you give us your account?
My account? I am an Is It engineer.
Well then. Can you give testimony regarding what the previous witnesses have testified to so far?
I can just say that Nim is innocent. That's I can say.
So everything stated beforehand was factual so far.
Yes.
Is there anything that you feel needs further clarification?
Well, one question I do have in mind. Nim is from another plane. Is that correct?
That is undetermined as of yet.
I don't
Well-
think anybody is actually aware of that.
Yeah,
Not
no.
even
Yeah.
Nim.
No.
Nim doesn't even have an idea of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and planeswalkers are apparently not very widely known except to higher rankings. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you might not
Yeah.
even have made that connection.
Yeah. No, I was just curious, like, as in, like, since he was from another. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But yes, out of character, he is from another plane.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I have nothing else to say.
nothing to add. No version of your account to parallel the others.
Nope, not to my knowledge.
All right. So you did truly receive this call to join these from basically nowhere, yes? And then met them again, like once more, as a apparent coincidence?
That is correct.
And you were assaulted with them. You also heard the damn dog comment and the note
Yes.
was found. Who found the note, if I may ask?
I would recall it was Nim that found the note, or it was either Cray.
I know it
Honestly,
wasn't Nim.
Okay.
I don't remember who was. I can't remember who the hell it was, but let's just say you say who it was.
Yes.
Someone found the note.
Fair enough.
Well then, thank you for your time.
Okay.
See, I thought
Next.
it was Ram.
Next, we will call Element to the stand.
And then he stands up and goes to the stand.
Name and profession, if you please.
Say that again.
Name and profession, if you please.
Oh, my name is Alamin, and I am a paladin trainee from the. Sorry, give me a moment. For the Boros.
Do you feel that everything said before by the previous witnesses was truthful and the complete, honest story?
I did not see any falses from the testimony of my companions. No.
Is there anything that you believe needs further clarification or addendums or addition?
And then roughly she's from as he's trying to think. No, not really. Nothing else to clarify. What everyone has said up till now has been pretty much their full account that has been asked.
Very well then. I would then like to instead ask on the statements made by Millinor. He has claimed innocence to these assaults so far. Has he made any false statements other than his apparent claim to innocence?
Damn, out of character, I forgot his testimony already. So if there is some falsehood that I remember, I can't really recall.
He's saying that the one that the note was a forgery.
Ah,
But I guess we can't really prove that. But
yeah, we can't prove that would it be okay for me to say that I was there when the other note was made?
yeah, you could say that you could say that you witnessed, him make like the note that we used for comparison.
Well, there is one thing. Well, I cannot say about the certainty of the note that we found from the now dead bandits. I can't say that the note of comparison is 100% genuine.
Interesting. So you were there during the creation, so you can verify, along with the other witness, that this was written by his hand.
That is correct.
So it is beyond a shadow of doubt, as it contains his very signature at the bottom.
That is correct.
Thank you for your time, witness. Unless there is anything else, I suppose that will be all.
Yeah, there's nothing else for me to add. Besides that, I do believe that this behavior is really becoming of a Boris.
I am in complete agreement, sir.
And then let me take his leave.
Lastly, we have Craig.
I'm kind of curious. What does the bartender's face do whenever he gets kind of insulted like that? Saying his behavior is basically like just super disgraceful. Since most people kind of take pride in their guilds. So I guess that'd be insight. Not terrible.
Red?
Oh, fuming. Literally having the gears inside his brain just grinding themselves in anger
Oh, just for
of all these accusations.
being called out as like a shitty Boros because he
Yeah.
tried to have us murdered. Does it look does it look like genuine? Does it look like he's angry because like he actually thinks he's innocent, or does it or is he angry just because he's being called out for it?
Being called out for it.
Okay, Graham has his answer. That's all I wanted to do with Graham.
All right. Craig, as the last witness, will you please take to the stand?
Cray, of course, moves up to the stand and sits down.
Your name and profession, if you please.
Real quick.
Graham is gonna roll his eyes as he's expecting there to be some really long-winded talk as he describes being a librarian for the Azurius.
I need to find the note I gave you, Dusty.
Oh no, not the note.
Meanwhile, Nim is trotting out of the gets up and goes towards the exit of the courtroom.
My name is Cray Monothol. I am librarian for the Azurius, as well as a licensed freelance lawyer and freelance dungeoneer.
Ah, I see. And do you believe that everything so far by your cohorts has been said truthfully, properly, and without need of correction?
I personally feel as though there are some corrections to be made.
By all means.
If I will be allowed to speak freely about the transpired events, should it please the court.
Of course, go on.
Myself and these individuals had, of course, been hired seemingly at random by the current defense. This individual I had specifically requested to form contracts with each of us individually. It has been a consistent point throughout this entire court case that Nim Oter Bonechop had in fact, during said contract, stolen some of the food items that had belonged to the defendant. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I would like to personally request whatever evidence is present to be, well, presented, as it appears as though this entire accusation has been entirely hearsay, as the situation in question regarded a inn that had been taken over by goblins. I had not seen any personal thievery from my account, and I have no reason to believe that the food that Nim Oter Bonechop had been carrying on him was in fact thieved, especially given the circumstances in which said food was likely either destroyed, eaten, or, depending on the amount of time the inn had been taken over, gone bad.
Witness, do you have, or accused, do you have any evidence to indicate that this food was in fact stolen? No, but he admitted to it himself. You basically proved it yourself. I said that indeed he took food. However, it cannot be certain that he took your food, as goblins had come into your establishment. They may not have known what to expect. Therefore, thusly, they may have brought their own supplies. That. You can't prove that. No. It was later secured by other Boros guards, and then the construction workers. We cannot prove what the goblins took in or took out. However, the goblins may have left. After all, there seems to have been fewer bodies than was initially predicted. The pantry was very clearly raided, practically haphazardly. That could be by goblins. We can't be sure that it's Nim. How dare you? Sorry, Red. I wasn't sure if you were still there, so I just sort of went ahead.
No, it's okay.
Additionally, if I may
You may
continue,
resume.
Additionally, we were given contracts which has already been stated simply had the qualifications, as this contract was made rather haphazardly, but in said case it was made fairly airtight because of how simplistic it was. We were to eradicate the goblins inside, which we did, and ensure that the establishment was still standing, which we likewise did, regardless of any damages, compensation, or any clause in any regard to any damages done. Therefore, any statement of damages done should be considered null and void, regardless of the sources. To follow as well, because the defendant had believed that Nim Oter had stolen for him, he had foregone giving him proper payment for his contract, in which case he may still owe Nim Oter Bonechop a sum of money.
and as it has been stated previously, due to Nim's lack of knowledge in most of Ravnica's workings, there is the argument to be made that the innkeeper in fact took advantage of Nim and got free services from him.
After a
This-
signed contract was presented.
Thank you very much, Craig. Then the defense speaks up. Now hold on there. Nim, as stated himself, left after collecting satisfactory compensation. Perhaps not from the innkeeper, from the building itself.
That is something that will have to be directly worked out with Nim O'Tear Bone Shop. It is simply something I felt may need to be addressed in this court case.
Out of character, Graham also stated that if the innkeeper really wanted to like press charges for it, he would have done it, instead of, having us go to a different, like, recommending us for a different mission. Because he had plenty of time to be like, hey, pull, like, Boros or Ozurius. This man stole from me. Go get him. But no, he did nothing.
Are there any other additions to previous testimonies that you would like to add, Sir Craig?
All previous accounts of the attack so far have been made full and factual. I see no additions to be made there specifically. However, in regards to the signed note which I had acquired from the defendant, I had been simply a neighborly individual before I had full knowing of the situation and wanted to simply ensure that his residents got proper insurance and compensation via the Ozurius means. So I had gone to him with Elman, both as a witness and as potential protection, to simply get this handwritten note for a request of insurance. He did hand sign it in front of me, and as should be shown on the paper, there should be proof of notary given by myself.
The proof of notary is present and properly documented.
He gives a nod. Then aside from that, I believe I have no further statements to make.
Thank you for your time, Craig. If that will be all, you may step down from the stand.
If I may,
Go on.
the defense hasn't had an opportunity to question me.
The defense has no objections.
Cray just
The defense rests
glares
his
at this defense lawyer. He just looks into his soul like, oh, ask me anything.
The defense arrests, Your Honor.
In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and this probably isn't gonna be that intimidating, but you know what? No.
He's pretty intimidating, it seems. There's a dark aura behind you, Cray. There's of absolute dominance.
Cray in the legal system. And he gives a nod and then goes to step down.
I believe I have sufficient. I believe that the witnesses have provided sufficient testimony, and with the defense being unable to refute the evidence provided so far, with the additional insight given by each witness, I do believe there are no further grounds to prolong this trial any further. Nice. I am in full agreement. Witness, do you have any final comments before we wrap this up? We're accused.
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for
It
you
was a
meddling
meddling
kids.
dog!
If it were for you meddling kids and your stupid dog.
Stupid dog, you made me look bad. Stupid.
That's it. I'm getting my mallet. Everyone roll initiative.
Wait, what?
All right. Red, does Millinor have any final statement or any comments he would like to make to try and throw a wrench into this seemingly pretty airtight case?
Oh, it's my bad. One second. There.
Is that red, Mike?
Oh, I was taking a video off. My bad. What happened?
We've generally wrapped things up. Everyone's given their testimony and the defense has rested without much fight.
Yeah.
The judge is asking the accused for his final statements or comments.
Oh, I thought I said it when I screamed like that damn meddling dog.
Ah,
I thought
yes.
that was a joke.
No, he screamed it out.
And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that, for you kids and that
You know
damn meddling dog.
You know what Graham is really thinking right now? He's like, how long will it take this man to, break down and be like, I can tell you for like a deal on not being, for protection from like the Orzhov and the Selenia and possibly every other guild and be like, I'll tell you everything you want to know about these brigands and how they were going about killing people, and who to try to save his ass, because let's face it, he's gonna get shanked in prison.
I mean, considering all the actions he's done, he probably hasn't dawned on him what of all this. He's made plenty of mistakes already.
Oh, I know, but let's face it. This man is pissed off. Like, he's connected to people who have pissed off every single guild, and is seemingly kind of very connected to them. He's gonna get regardless of whether he like tries to make a deal to protect himself or not. The man's getting shanked in prison if he doesn't if there's not someone he can throw under the bus for the mass murder of guild members.
It's
Right,
cute
right.
that you think that there's a basic prison system.
There it is.
Yeah, no,
they're probably being thrown into dungeon cells and like not being.
Well,
given
you know what
contact with
what I
anyone.
mean.
It
He's
just
still gonna
depends.
he's still gonna get
On
shanked
the low
by
ones,
someone.
nah.
He's being thrown in a gulag.
Yeah, for the low ones, yeah, most likely. In the higher courts, yeah, they do have their an actual prison system,
Probably.
So the gulags for you.
especially those of the Orzhov and the Azores, especially the Azores.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these people would it'd be them or the Boros, and those two would absolutely have actual fucking prisons. If it was basically a trial by any other guild, then no, they'd absolutely just be like, okay, off to the gulag with you, where you'll never see the light of day again.
Yeah.
The judge solemnly shakes his head and says, "So you admit to your guilt in the end?"
So the badger gets up and just sighs and just looks to the judge, is like, well, if that's what the court decides, so be it.
Unless you have testimony or evidence to contradict it.
No, I can see you've already reached the verdict. I can see it everywhere. At the end of the day, What I've done might have shamed what I am for my own guild. At least. At least allow me this small thing. That what I had, give it to the guild. At least.
You wish for your assets to be returned to the Boros?
Give it to them. I've already shamed them enough.
Very
What was
well.
that?
Giving back to your guild is a noble final act.
Was that it? Was that
Right.
a picture?
That is the Matrix revealing its true identity.
Ooh, what the?
It's gorgeous.
Digi is part of it. Digi
Let
is
me-
actually a figment of our imaginations.
That would
Hence,
explain
he
a
is
lot.
called Digi.
So that's why his name is DG.
Oh, don't you know it? I'm Matt That Dead. I've been a figment of your collective imaginations. A
Damn,
slow
this is a hell of a
spreading
math loop.
madness.
Damn
So-
mass hallucination.
Grow stronger with continual contact. Soon I shall reach into the physical world, and then all will be over.
Wait, it's only physical contact?
No.
Oh, well, I know how to deal with that.
Yeah. They're always back. Like that.
Well, Nim has basically decided that this is over. He is gonna go up to the judge's stand. Hey! You want to come over for a dinner party later?
The judge looks down and scowls.
He's just giving
Not proper
big old...
court etiquette.
Oh! Sorry! But do you?
Graham is just gonna like go up and like kind of like shoo him away and be like, you can't, yeah. Did you ever have like royalty or anything else like that? People like that seem to like that kind of need to like maintain a certain public appearance.
Yes.
Okay, this is kind of like that, except you're also kind of and also if he comes to, he can't really come to your cookout because then it might look like you bribed him to, you know, win the trial.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, Nim.
He'll look at Millinor and say, "He really does appear to be a rather difficult canine. Granted, your assets will be returned to the Boros in full."
Meanwhile, Nim goes over to the defense attorney. Well, how about you?
You let me forget.
Gray's gonna lean over to the legal eagle and ask him about their compensation for, you know, attempt at murder.
Will
Do people get compensation for having been attempted to be murdered?
Well,
Oh,
I'm
yes,
asking
they
that.
get a lot.
Well, we may be able to get that from the found gold if we can solidify his
Potential
involvement with that group.
He's
But
already confessed.
Yes.
No, he didn't confess to that. He confessed
No.
to, you know, trying to have us killed. That's the only thing he confessed to.
We may need to have
Also, there was a request of a particular payment to be made.
particular payment.
Yeah, before we started court, like most of us had stated that we wanted financial compensation, and Nim Oter Bone Shop stated that he wanted asset as compensation.
Well, I couldn't promise anything, but it seemed likely until he did that. We may need to have a separate trial too. If I can prove his connection, which may be difficult.
He has confessed his connection.
He has resigned himself, not confessed.
He kind of confessed to, you know, or at least, you know, resign, you know, that he tried to have us killed. He didn't actually admit any kind of fault with, you know, the other, the attacks on the Orzhov. But again, I'm pretty sure if someone looks into it and can find some of the identities, I bet you a lot of those Orzhovs probably stopped by his tavern.
Right, but finding his involvement with the other guilds and all that stuff, that would involve us. That would be a different case with different people and different assets going to different places. This is us suing him for trying to kill us.
Ah, yes. But again, he just gave up everything, so I don't think we can actually sue him.
The basic claimant.
You're basically asking to sue a hobo at this point.
Yes. That is... There's a trick lies. He literally just gave everything up before... right at the end of the trial. Back to the Boros.
Yet you can't just do that in court, though. That was a request made to the judge. The judge still has to determine where our compensation and reimbursement for the accused crime has come in. Is the judge just going to say, okay, everything goes back to the Boros. You guys who almost got murdered, you get nothing?
He seems to have said that after Nim stood up and tried to invite him to a meal.
Alrighty.
However, the legal eagle will stand up and clear his throat. While giving everything back to the Boros is a honorable act, there is still compensation to be given to your most recent victims, sir. They must be reimbursed. And the judge looks over to the legal eagle and states very firmly, "You will be compensated with the money found on the site. However, it comes into the matter of ownership of the building, on the other hand, a tenuous demand, especially for, as you have proven and stated multiple times, a simple-minded ghoul. I do not believe they have the capacity to maintain this operation."
Nib will speak up. One sec. Sorry, just had to clear my throat. Actually, I did manage to run and maintain both an orphanage as well as a homeless shelter before. I got them to be self-sufficient, too.
What might their names and location be?
He will give them.
Places that do not exist in Ravnica.
He doesn't understand that, but I mean, where he comes from, the city, it was a really big one. God damn it. I gotta bring up the Faerun map. I know exactly where it is on the map.
The judge narrows his eyes and
And Grim and Nim does not help his case any.
never heard of these buildings before. What district are they in?
I mean, I have the deeds right here.
Do you?
I mean, assuming since non-living matter can come with you, he would have it. And he did have a scroll case specifically for it.
Oh, it's...
Granted, they still don't exist in this dimension, but they would definitely be official, just, you know.
Just not for here.
Yeah.
Which is still like, you know, you might as well just hand like a menu like written completely in Chinese to like someone who only speaks and reads Spanish and be like, this is a deed.
They will be looked over and he'll seem confused and then hand them back saying, "We do not accept false documents in this courtroom. Nim Otar."
This isn't false.
You are only proving further in my mind that you are not ready to own a business, Nim Otar. These documents are found nowhere. These establishments are found nowhere in Ravnica, and these are not the proper forms for ownership of territory in our city of Ravnica.
Well, yeah, they were from the other city.
There is no other city.
He just looks confused and tilts his head. I am having a hell of a time trying to find the actual map of Faerun.
Everybody roll insight. Oh.
No.
Everybody but Element and Markov. He said that very firmly that there is no city other than Ravnica. And very quickly, but his gaze seems to have hardened on Nim Otar.
Oh my. Graham is suspicious of this. It's be like, come on, Nim, we can help you, you know, get a place of your own with a kitchen some other way.
Financial compensation will be distributed to each of you post-trial. However, as of this moment, court is adjourned.
Mole
The accused
Master!
has been found guilty.
Mole Master is the city.
And the gavel is slammed. Court is dismissed.
Great.
Graham will look at Gray and be like,
Overruled.
is there the possibility that Nim is slightly less crazy than we think he is?
Objection.
But does Graham say that out loud?
He's kind of whispering it to Cray.
Oh, absolutely. Have you spoken with him?
So you think that he's less crazy than we think he is?
I doubt this is crazy at all. This individual does not seem to be from around here. whether that's a very, very, very heavy upbringing by the Gruul, which does not seem to be the case, because he's only stated that they've been there for 3 moons. He speaks of places and things that don't align with Ravnica at all. The Izzet have shown a curiosity to him. Part of me is almost wanting to let them continue that curiosity and see where it leads.
Also, the look that the judge gave him when he was talking about other cities.
He is correct. There is no other city.
Yeah. Yes, but you saw the you saw the look, right?
There are some who claim to create other cities, and honestly, the statement of any other city existing at all to some can be seen as a heretical thought process, especially with our guild system. You should know this.
I do, which is, again, why I thought Nim was, just kind of like a high functioning crazy person, basically. Until I saw the look that the judge gave him when he mentioned other cities.
I, for one, have seen and understood insanity, and I do not believe that that is what we are experiencing with Nim.
You're gonna have to look into this. Or we should, I should say.
I would simply suggest allowing the Izzet to further conduct their investigations, especially with him and his kitchen. It seems to be a win-win.
Fair enough.
Though we should watch that process very closely as well. I trust the Izzet wouldn't do anything terribly harmful, but at the same instance,
Things happen around the Izzet, especially whenever you're getting engineers involved.
Indeed. Perhaps Markov would be placed as a head officiate on such a thing. After all, he's been exposed to Nim for considerably longer than any other Izzet, it seems. Potentially that would help him and his own progression within the guild. You should speak to Markov about this.
Seems more like a you thing.
You're the one who seems concerned about his otherworldly experiences. I'm more concerned on his future exploits.
How does that not mean that you shouldn't talk to Markov about this? Watching, keeping an eye on him while he's with the Izzet.
You seem as concerned as I am.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to be making any kind of contracts or anything potentially
Neither am I.
you would be.
Why would I make a contract in this situation?
He has kind of a lack of common sense. It might be good to make something, to protect him.
Well, wouldn't we want to trust an Orzhov with that? He says, leaning in with a smile.
Yeah, I wasn't that kind of Orzhov. I was the break your legs for not making enough donations kind of Orzhov.
And yet you seem to uphold yourself quite adequately in a courtroom.
That doesn't mean I can write contracts.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you
I just
can't either.
understand. I just understand what a lawyer's trying to get out of people and how to twist that. I can't write official contracts though. My
Anyone can write an official
legal
contract.
ease doesn't extend that far.
Anyone can write an official contract. There's no requirement to do so. There's no license for contracting.
I mean,
A
anyone.
contract is just a written piece of paper.
You know what
where
I
two
you know
individuals
exactly
agree upon a thing.
you know exactly what I mean and what I'm getting at.
No, I don't.
Anybody can write a contact, but not anybody can write a good one. And yes, Element is saying this. He overheard the conversation.
Both look to Element. And Cray looks back. Well, in my opinion, Nim is his own individual and doesn't need my protection. But at the same time, I want to keep an eye on things. Nothing more. In my eyes is not required, though if he comes and requests a contract from either you or I'd be more than happy to assist with such an inquiry.
I suppose that's fair enough. Although he does still worries me.
Graham is just gonna be like,
Is Markov still eating that, like...
No, I already
tortilla.
finished. I already finished my tortilla.
Yeah, Graham is just like,
Present?
that look that judge had is the same look I saw in like some of the higher up Orzhov before. I was like, oh, this shit's bad. We need to get the hell out of here. Too many bad secrets.
Element is now eating the tortilla that Nim gave him earlier, because he wasn't about to eat it in the middle of the courtroom.
Have we actually left the courtroom at this point?
Yes, court was adjourned.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we were probably like right outside the courtroom, possibly, or just and walking. Also, it's 11, and I need to get to bed.
Oh wow! I didn't realize it was so late.
Ay. Goodness, as usual, court takes a while. But hey, next session I've got plenty to go through.
So, are we gonna do it next week?
We have a job.
Also, Digi can almost reuse the title because we never did anything following the Chimera's trail.
Oh,
Yes. We may have to change this title because, goodness.
Well, send me a new title and I'll put it on the recording when I upload it.
Yeah, alright.
I'm
Call
fine
it Court.
I'm fine with
Yes.
I mean, there was the dinner party too.
Guild Tales. Court.
You know what? Yes.
Like I said, Court.
I'm fine with playing next week if you guys are up for it.
We'll figure that out later. For now,
Yeah.
thank you all so much for joining us for Guild Tales Dungeons and Dragons. I will be back tomorrow with more streaming. Most likely some Halo, followed by more StarCraft. Possibly. I might take a break. I don't know. I am enjoying it. But I feel like it's getting old for the stream. We'll see. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those good things there on the website, as well as down in the description below. Do consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best places to support the channel, though you can also do so by grabbing some merch or subscribing to the channel, donating, or you can even use our Humble Bundle partner link to support the channel. Links for all of that are on the website and in the description below. Thank you again so much for joining. Thank you for the support, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Bye, guys.
Farewell.
Bye,
Take
everyone.
it easy.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's a new one.
Bye-bye.
Interesting.
Mixing things up today, Zim?
I always
Oh my.
No, usually you do the Mickey Mouse thing.
No, I tend to
Today
mix
got
things
really.
up.
Today you really got really ASMR-y. Normally when it's D&D, it's always the Mickey Mouse thing.
Not always. But that's okay. Anyways, I'll see you all tomorrow.